All right, let's dive right in. Today we're looking at something pretty wild. Hytopia. It's a project that's trying to build a full-blown open-world RPG from the ground up, and it's all happening inside of Minecraft. Yeah, you heard that right. Let's break it down. And they are not pulling any punches here. Right off the bat, the message is super clear. This is not just another mod pack. Hytopia is setting out to completely tear down and rebuild that core survival gameplay loop that we've all been playing for, more than a decade now? And here it is, the big hook, the question that really powers the entire experience. We're talking about a game that's built on progression, but not just your character's progression. The world itself is supposed to evolve right along with you. This one idea, it's the foundation for everything else we're about to see. Okay, so let's get into the first big concept, what they're calling the punk evolution of a world. The idea here is that Hytopia is designed as this continuous RPG, where the world is kind of the main character, constantly changing and evolving right before your eyes. So how does this punk thing actually work? Well, it's all about distinct eras. You're going to start in a Stonepunk region. Think primitive tech, maybe some nature magic. Then, as you get stronger, you'll unlock a Steampunk region, all brass gears and smoggy skies. And finally, you hit Cyberpunk, with all the neon lights and crazy tech you can imagine. Each zone is basically its own self-contained world, with a totally different vibe and set of challenges.
Okay, so that's the big picture. But what's it like when you first log in? That crucial first day? Well, the changes hit you right away. And they completely flip the script on the basic survival rules we all know by heart.
And boom, here's the proof. The hunger bar? Gone. Just totally gone. It's replaced with a stamina bar, which is much more focused on action. But maybe the biggest shocker here is the health regen. You don't just heal by keeping your hunger up anymore. Nope. If you want to heal, you have to actively use something, like a potion or a specific meal. That is a huge shift in how you play. And this new stamina system isn't just about not getting hungry. It's a core combat resource. Yeah, it drains when you sprint or swim, but the real game changer is that you also use it for powerful charged attacks and even for shielding. It means you can't just spam actions anymore. You have to think, you have to be tactical about every single move you make in a fight. And all of this, the stamina, the active healing, it all feeds into a combat system that is way, way deeper. This is where you can really see Hytopia trying to become a full-on action RPG, not just Minecraft with a new sword. At the heart of it all is the ability system. Think of it like this. Instead of just having a sword and a bow, you get a custom loadout of 4 special powers. These are your heavy hitters, your spells, your escape moves, whatever you want. The best part? You can swap them out whenever, so you can always adapt to what you're fighting. And of course, the gear plays a huge part. Armor here isn't just about not dying, it's about creating a build. Look at these examples. You've got the Gladiator set for going full-on melee DPS, where every kill makes you stronger and faster. Or you could go for something like the Wind Tracer set, which is all about zipping around and even gives you this cool mid-air sneak to avoid damage. This is how you really craft your own unique playstyle. All right, so the combat is cool, the builds are deep, but what's the point of it all? What are you actually grinding for? Let's get into the long-term progression, the stuff that's going to keep you coming back. Everything, and I mean everything, revolves around your Hytopian Rank, or HR. It's basically your main account level. Every single thing you do, quests, bosses, you name it, gives you HR experience. And this rank? It's literally the master key that unlocks the rest of the game. New areas, new gameplay systems, and of course, the best loot. And they've actually laid out a super clear path for that grind. A typical day in Hytopia looks something like this. You log in, grab your daily freebies, then you knock out 4 quick commissions. After that, you spend your daily energy, which they call charge, on running dungeons or fighting bosses. And once that's done, you're free to do whatever. Tackle the main story, upgrade your stuff, explore. It gives you a nice, structured way to make progress every day. And that daily grind isn't for nothing. Finishing those 4 commissions gives you a very specific reward, 60 high gems. This is one of their premium currencies. What this does is give free-to-play players a reliable, predictable way to earn the good stuff without having to spend real money. It's a clear path forward. Speaking of high gems and currencies, let's talk about the economy. Because in a game this big, you need a really smart system to keep everything in balance for all kinds of players. And their answer is this 4-currency system. It might look a little complicated, but it's actually pretty clever. You've got your standard coins that you can trade with other players,
Then you have grid bits and high gems, which you earn yourself and can't trade. Those are for things like cosmetics and opening reward crates. And finally, there's charge, that time-gated energy we talked about, which is just for getting loot from bosses. Each one has a very specific job to do.
So let's drill down on that charge system again. It's basically energy. It refills slowly over time, and you spend it to claim the big loot at the end of a dungeon. Why do this? Well, it's a smart way to stop people from farming the best gear 24/7. It keeps the game's economy from collapsing and prevents players from burning out. And it's cool that you can save it up if you know you're going to have a long gaming session on the weekend.
Okay, so this brings us to the crate system. Let's just call it what it is, a gacha system. It's how you get those cool abilities and top-tier gear. And I know, whenever you hear gacha, alarm bells can go off. But hold on, because they've thought about that and put something in place to make it fair.
And that something is a pity system. It's basically bad luck protection. If you have a terrible streak and you open 99 crates without getting a super rare 3-star item, the game just gives you one on your 100th pull. Guaranteed. So no matter what, your effort will eventually pay off. You can't get stuck with bad luck forever. So, with all these systems in place, the evolving world, the deep combat, the structured grind, what's the long-term vision? How does a world like this continue to grow? Well, the design doc lays out a pretty clear schedule. You can expect small updates. Think new events, a new battle pass, about once a month to keep things fresh. But the really big stuff, the major updates, those are slated for every 7 to 10 months. And that's when we'll get the good stuff. A whole new region, the next chapter of the story, and yeah, the next punk theme. And that brings us full circle, right back to that first big idea. This whole game is built to change, to evolve. We already know the roadmap, from Stonepunk to Steampunk to Cyberpunk. But that just leaves one massive, exciting question hanging in the air. Once you hit the neon-lit future, what in the world comes after that?